Whatever your hands find to do, do it with all your might. For the race is not to the swift nor the strong, but chance, time, and opportunities are given to all of us. My name is Lali Tokwe. Welcome to the Alignment Conversations with Lali Tokwe. This is another day that the Lord has made for us to rejoice and be glad in it. Thank you so much for tuning in. We are grateful to the Lord for yet another time for us to gather in this fashion. It has been a hectic week, yet a wonderful week, because it is only by the grace of God. We have another episode that is so exciting and very interesting and close to my heart here on the Alignment this afternoon. I'll say she's my niece or my daughter. I love her so much. We hosted her last year in August with other teenagers. She had a great time. We also had a great time with her. We're speaking all things the alignment. Her name is Ozzy Sa Ginyikazi. Ozzy, welcome to the alignment.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, you can greet the viewers at home.
Hi guys, how are you doing? I hope you're well, guys, through this time we're facing with the wave 5, the corona. Hope you're safe. Please appreciate everyone that you have at home. Thank you.
Wow. We are so excited to have you, Ozzy. As you know, it's always a pleasure to spend time with you, even off camera. Yeah. We had a great time last year when you were with us. But we thought we should invite you once again to just talk to us, more about Ozzy. I understand that you are into modeling, and also you are, I would say you are approaching high school. You are 13 years this year,
yes,
right? Yeah. So which grade are you doing?
I'm doing grade 7 this year.
Yeah, grade 7. That means you're approaching high school, and I know that you'll make it. What attracted you to modeling?
There are many reasons, but I'll name one: the skills that they have, that they enlighten in you.
Okay.
Because we may have many skills, but you can never be able to identify and also to work with them. So when they see the ability that you have, and they make you grow, they give you everything that you need, they even boost your confidence, because we especially in the society that we live in, teenagers don't have the confidence right now. They don't have self-esteem. They have low self-esteem. So modeling just puts all that, and also through the teenager cycle that we have. So it's a really great thing to get into.
Wow. So modeling is not only about being like looking beautiful and then being on stage. There's just other aspects of it that we do not know. So today you are just schooling us. You're speaking about, the confidence. Now I understand why you are this confident. In fact, you have been confident since forever. And I know you as a person who is so vocal. Are these things that are taught in the modeling school that you're part of, or academy that you're part of, or you have someone that has helped you to be this person who's not afraid to talk about stuff, who's always, open to even to new ideas. As young as you are, I know you as a creative and a child. In fact, you're not a child. As a teen, that is able to speak. You just speak your mind, of course, respectfully. But you are never afraid to express how you feel. So, who inspired you into being an open little girl, teenager, young person, especially in this day and age, where I know some teenagers, we call them moody because they don't talk much, they just listen to their music, play games and all that.
I was born with this over talking or being very vocal, and I just learned to embrace it.
Wow.
Especially when I became a teenager this year. I was like, there's a lot going on. Teenagers are quiet. And I was like, thank God for making me vocal.
Okay.
Because now a lot of situations just pass me, and a lot of situations are handled immediately, right?
Okay.
Because I'm vocal. And also, the person who actually inspired me are my parents.
Okay.
Because they even say, okay, can you tell Tenike, how did something go in school or something? So we as parents, or them as parents, have helped me also to be vocal.
I like the fact that you said you decided to embrace it. When we grew up, a child who talks too much, they're like,
yeah.
Teta great, all that, and it would make the child to feel like they're doing something wrong. What can you say to teens about the importance, of talking and expressing themselves? Because I understand that you guys are wired differently. Some do not have that, loud personality. They don't talk and all that, but. They are people. They've got stuff sometimes that they go through, and there are challenges that sometimes they face as young as they are. Maybe you may say, or maybe agree with me, that there's some stuff that sometimes you feel like, wow, I can't go away. I know other people may not think that teens go through some stuff, but what can you say to your fellow teenagers there at home about the importance of, even though someone does not have a loud personality, but at least to be able to express themselves on how they feel about stuff?
Makas Lali, we're going through something that is called suicide, especially in the teenagers. Okay. Teenagers right now have learned about no suteta, no makas, because makas was a judge at one bungel and situation. Okay. And the tingo to everyone who's a teenager or is going to become a teenager and is going through the same situation of a parent, of whoever, family member who's dimming your vocal abilities, theater, even to a friend, because you never know if your friend can go to someone who can actually help you. Being vocal is not be unapologetically, because I've learned about be unapologetic about your personality, about your vocal abilities, about who you are. So express yourself, because now we're living in the days of suicide, and we do not want children to go through the same thing. The next generation may go through it, but we must break it first.
You're speaking about being unapologetic about, your vocal ability and stuff, and you have always come across as a teenager who understands who they are and understands why they are on earth. You've always been like that. And I would really love you to share with your fellow teens on the importance of understanding, your why. I say your why because I believe that understanding and knowing your purpose, it means you understand why you're on earth.
That's a big topic.
I know.
If we can have an hour to talk about the purpose.
Come on, Todd.
So, purpose, it goes with you being driven. Now, guys, I mean purpose, but step by step, I'm learning, okay, so I'm supposed to do this. For example, modeling. Modeling, I do it to boost other people's confidences. I do it for the people who are younger and go through the same experiences as me. Not necessarily the same ones, but also for them to know that it's fine if I'm who I am. Yeah. And it's fine to be not apologetic. And for the purpose part, you're driven with purpose. And the problem that we face as teenagers is that we think everyone can get in the boat that you're going to.
Oh, wow.
In terms of friends.
Oh, wow.
That's a very difficult thing to choose.
Ne?
It's
not easy to choose friends.
It's not easy to choose.
But you guys, you always seem happy, your groups, you're enjoying.
No, we're acquaintances. Not friends.
Ne?
We're not friends.
I thought it's something for old people. I thought, kids and teens, they just get along.
Yeah, we
and
do.
And they're friends.
But the more you grow, the more, and there's like this distance thing, and you can't even explain it because there's a quote that I saw in it by God hears conversations that you don't.
Okay.
So if you drift from someone else and you're trying to get back as friends with them and it's not working, there's a reason. When I move and go to the destination that you're supposed to do. And another thing is the journeys are different, the paths are different, the tribulations are different. My journey won't be the journey as is you, Mam Lali, as much as we are in the show business.
So
but
true.
My tribulations may not be the same as you, and your destination, maybe I can even become an author full-time and stop show business, but I can carry on. So, and also as teenagers, and go when it's not your destiny, it's not your purpose, but because I have the ability to. How do you know your abilities if you do not know who you are?
Wow.
Knowing yourself is habits, your habits, things that irritate you, your hobbies, and everything. Those whole things make you, but we do not know that as teenagers. But it makes ozisa, because ozisa is different from Mamlal.
Yes.
Because her habits will never be like mine.
Yeah.
So I feel like as teenagers, we have to know by purpose it can never be the same as another person, and our journeys can never be the same. Everything about us are different. This is why we're called unique, each and every one of you.
Okay. You know, there's something that you said. God hears conversations that you did not hear. And I think you relate to, you know, separation. Sometimes we cry over friends, even as elders. I think I need to know. We try to find why did so and so, you know, leave me. We cry over relationships that, you know, seem broken. And there's something that might have been hurt by God. And He's protecting you from maybe more harm, or protecting the other person, you know, from you.
But when I was that.
So it goes back to the fact that you say, yes, it's good to understand purpose and live purpose and understand who you, and understand, you know, whatever that you are supposed to do, but it's impossible to run with purpose without understanding who you are. And you speak about just simple things like habits, you know, things that you love, things that you hate. They make the person that you are. Any words, last words for your teens and, you know, and your friends and your acquaintances and
Hi guys. So last year I learned that you having a purpose is actually something that God has called you to do in us. It may be different. For others, it may be teaching, right? And you'll be like, yo, I want to do more. It actually is helping another person, because when you teach you and you're going through and giving it all your best, you have changed another person's life. Actually, you are a savior when causes. So a purpose, but you're actually moving forward bit by bit, but you're not even hearing yourself. So as teenagers, we also have to understand that our purposes are different, our journeys are different, our paths are different, our destinies are different, and we must learn to appreciate one another, because now the world is dangerous and it's very bad and cruel. So but we're fighting over another person, and when the world brings us so much war, how can we even be resilient together? So as one another, you have to learn peace, and if between you have to have peace and work it out. And also, you guys, suicide is a very bad thing that is happening, especially when teen suicide prevention week. We must learn to actually be nice to people, because suicide actually starts with bullying, cyber bullying, zonke verbal bullying. So we must learn to love one another, and first we must before we love one another, and we must know ourselves so that we know what to do with other people and how to appreciate people.
That's it, ladies and gentlemen. That is Ozisa Kenyikazi, our very own, the teen from the Alignment Teens. It's so exciting that our conversation today, we also have the teen coach. It was my first time to hear of a teen coach with her. Her name is Nomveli Sombanga. She is from the Mayine Development Institute. She'll be here with us. We'll continue with our talk or conversation that we had with Ozisa, but now we're taking it to a bigger scale. Sismve, welcome to the Alignment.
Thank you for inviting me.
We're so grateful that you were able to make it, and we thank God for your time. We see the work that you're doing, and it's so exciting, and I'm happy that I'm part of the Mayine. Yes. Some people may not know Mayine. Yes. What can you share to us on what you do at Mayine Development?
What we do, and again, thank you for inviting me, we are focused on teen development, but what we say is we are an African-centered type in terms of the approach that we use for teen development.
Yeah.
African-centered in the sense that we understand the African child where he's coming from or where she's coming from, their background, our communities, our townships, the challenges that we have there. So when kids approach us, they don't have to explain where they are coming from. We already know them. It makes them comfortable, it makes them at ease, and therefore it makes it easy for us to coach and guide their lives. That's why we are called teen coaches. Mainly we are life coaches for teenagers, and our role is to guide them and mentor them through life.
You know, with what you're saying, I usually say a child from Duncan village can never have same experiences as a child from Sandton. Maybe in Sandton they'll grow up, being put in a naughty corner. But in Duncan village, there's no naughty corner there. The lounge is here, in some shacks. The lounge is here, the kitchen is here, the bathroom is here. So I think with what you guys do is to mainly to say, we understand, we come down to where you are, we are willing to help you at your level without, making things to be difficult or sophisticated such that they are unable to reach out. We just had a teen a few minutes ago, Ozisa. But what can you say, what you do as an institute at Mayine to assist parents in understanding their teenagers and all these dynamics in order to help them?
I think a lot of parents who are parenting teenagers in this phase in our lives are often parents who came from a background that used control as a form of parenting. That type of control said, we control what you watch, we control where you go, we control what you say, we control who you befriend, we control what you wear,
what you eat,
and what you eat, and we control how you respond to me as well. The problem, though, is that we are in a millennial age, and most of these kids who are teens now are millennials. I'm at 2000. They don't understand the whole language of control, and that's where the challenge comes. And you find that there's a push between the parents and the kids because the child is asking, but why should I not? Because they're coming back from a background that said your child must not talk back to you. And that's what the problem is. So my recommendation to parents is that please understand that we're in a different era. Please understand that part for starters. And secondly, be open to learning about what is happening around your children in this era. Because it doesn't have to say, I'm a parent, I know it all. You don't. You didn't grow up in this era. You were not born in this era. The dynamics are not the same. So spend time to understand what is happening around your kids. Understand the language that they're using. We call them about skri because they have a different language and their way of understanding that language. It speaks to the culture of the time as well. So parents understand the language, but most importantly, spend time with your kids. It's the only thing that's going to assist you. Spending time means you would know when your child is quiet that, okay, they're just being quiet. But you will know when they are quiet because they are sad. There will be a difference because you are comfortable and you are familiar with the way umntanakho engakhona. You are quite familiar. Also, even the loud kids, the confident kids can find themselves in a space where they look and sound happy in front of you as a parent because they know you expect that. And underneath by a goa because they've got different challenges. So the best thing is know when your child is acting out of their character. It's a split-second thing, but also it's an instinct thing. It's an instinct that you must have as a parent. Most parents have it, but we don't believe it because we think drama. But learn, and also note what is happening within your family as well in terms of don't be in denial. If there was a divorce happening at home, if you could ravazila when as a parent, be sure that your kids are also going through the same thing. If you're not okay when as a parent, emotionally and mentally, your kids are also not the same, are also not okay. This means then when you are going through a rough time as a family, create space for your kids to get support while you're sorting each other out. The danger that we often have is that we want to keep everything in-house. So we don't want people to know what we're going through. So we try and fix things on our own. But it's impossible because then you won't have the stamina to cover your kids while you're open because somebody else is also picking on you as a parent. So the wisest thing, and I think that's why we exist as teen coaches, is to partner with parents. Our role is not to override a parent or to compete with a parent. Our role is to partner, to say, while you are handling yourself as a parent, allow me to handle your child so that you are okay and then your child is okay as well. That's the role that we play. So it requires people to be authentic in terms of how they view their lives. If you're not doing okay as a family, admit it to yourself and then also talk to your kids. The other thing that's different about these kids and the era is that Tina, when we were growing up, you were supposed to be seen and not heard. Like our parents didn't want to hear what we have to say. Yes. Now with the kids that are growing up now, you must talk to them and you must listen to them. You must listen to them. So if there could drama in the home, create the space to talk to your kids about the drama and listen to what they have to say about it. Because your kids are going to tell you, because when they don't, even if it's their dad, they will ask, yes, that dude. Yes, and they will tell you why they feel in a particular way, and your role is to listen and pay attention to that. Because when kids move to a space of committing what is called now dying by suicide, it's because someone didn't listen to them at some point, or they didn't have someone that they could go to that they trusted, that they will be able to be heard when they talk to that person. The other reason why we exist as teen coaches is that we understand that in our black families, often no one listens to the kids.
And there's a lot of drama.
And there's a lot happening. Yes. And also we do this thing of saying, so I don't have to talk to the kids and explain myself. Whereas the kids are growing up differently, because of what is happening around them. And therefore what is happening to the elders, they see it. Sometimes they know more than we think they do because they've seen
and
it.
They see.
Yes, they know all the secrets of the family. They know everything.
And you'll be shocked. I was once shocked by my sister.
Yes.
No, I know you guys were hiding something from me. You guys will go to the kitchen. When I come in, you'll keep quiet and change the subject, and I'll act as if I did not hear. I know this is 1, 2, 3, and 4 that happened. I'm like, all right. And funny enough, our cousin said to us the other day, because we saw her, and they were like, nanko. And our cousin said, so it's just useless to hide, some stuff that that kids need to know, especially things that affect them as well. I sometimes feel in the issue of hiding stuff, even with parents, where sometimes bazenzo MacGyver, when they don't have money, they just go all out to try and borrow money and all that because they want to please the kids. They can't just be out there and say, you know what, I don't have money now. No, but you can't have this now. And you'll find that at a later stage, when they just get out of hand, they can't, get money anymore, to please their kids. Kube nzima. And umntwana afisho into yobana my parents are failing me because she or he is used to all that. You've touched a lot of things, and one of the things that my highlight is to create a space where kids cannot just be talked to, but can also be listened, and also the issue of observing and understanding your children and knowing that they are different from our era and our time, and not to try to impose the style of discipline that we used or we grew up with. I think that will take really parents to make a decision when it comes to that, because I know it's not easy. And with them, sometimes it's frustrating. That's why you'll find that even all over social media, you see parents that are frustrated to raise kids. They wish that, especially teenagers, not kids. But you'll find that they feel like how they can just reach and pass this teenage, stage, because they feel like it's a lot. we see teenagers, being bullied at schools, in the communities and stuff. And recently, I read a story that happened here in East London, where two boys were, fighting and all that. And I heard that the boy that was beaten by this other schoolmate, even though the whole community is supporting him, but he was still afraid to go back to school. Even though the parents were there, supporting, they were still scared, to go back to school. I think to him, maybe it was as if it's gonna happen more because there were some threats and stuff. I don't know, how do we handle that? How do we handle kids or teens who are bullied at a space where they have to be there daily, like school?
Yeah.
You see, how can we reach out to them? How can we make them, to understand that Nabo, they're on earth legally. It's not like they don't belong here. Because I sometimes feel like parents, they just don't know what to do. They try to take kids to counseling and stuff, but sometimes it doesn't help.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't help, in the sense that it depends on the level of trauma the child experienced at that particular school.
Yeah.
There are cases where I've recommended for parents to remove a child from a particular school completely and put them in a different school altogether, even if it's during the year.
Yeah.
Mainly because there perhaps has been too much trauma in that environment for your child to function in it. In the sense that for boys it becomes deeper, more so in your so-called boys' school, because the dynamics there are quite different. Boys are expected to know how to fight for themselves. It's a societal thing,
so
it's
true.
a toxic masculinity thing.
Yeah.
They're expected to know how to fight for themselves. They're also expected to have that boy clout thing within their particular school. They're also expected to perform in academics and be smart and intelligent. They're also expected to know how to stand up for themselves, never mind fighting physically, but to stand up for themselves. So in a situation where of that scale, where now everyone knows that I can't fight for myself, everyone witnessed me being beaten up, like literally every time I go into school, every face that I see reminds me that that person probably was there that day when someone was beating me up.
Yeah.
When I turned the corner, that's where I fell. When I turned the other side, that's the teacher who didn't stop the fight.
Yeah.
See, there's so many things around this child that nothing's going to save the day in any case. So the best thing is to remove the child completely from that environment and get them to a new school altogether. The problem, though, comes in when parents count the batale 50,000 rand because I school already.
Yeah.
And now you expect me to remove my child from this school. And this is what's the last money that I had. And often that's a reality for parents, except you must choose what's going to count the most. Because once the trauma becomes too deep for that teen, that's when they then choose the option of dying. Because it doesn't make sense to stay in the environment. And also, they don't want to disappoint the parents. And they know the sacrifice that you put in terms of the money as well. So they want to leave the school, but they can't because they know what you paid in there. So the best thing is just to remove myself from this equation. And often that's the option of dying. Yes, there are measures in place where we offer counseling to such kids, except we tend to focus on the child who's going through the most, the one who was bullied. The bully is still there.
There's a problem there.
The bully has a problem.
There's a problem there.
No one is assisting the bully to say, you are the problem.
Yeah.
Often the bullies are the most broken of kids. That were never helped at any point. So what we do is we focus and assist the one who's bullied. We make sure that they're okay, except the bully is there. He's going to find another way.
He needs help.
Yes, until someone also reaches out to them. He's going to find another way. It becomes then a case of trying to fix me, putting me back into prison. And then this boy is going to... Also, what bullies tend to do, they tend to groom other bullies as well. So if they're not beating you up physically, they're going to find another way to get to you. At some point. So yes, that's the other reality. And as such, it requires And I've been following this case for a while because I want to see what's going to happen to it. Because I know also schools don't know how to handle these cases.
Sometimes they just like, okay, we're going to investigate and all that.
Yes.
And the child goes back to school, their bully goes back to school.
Yes.
And then that's it.
And then that's it. It requires then the parents to be the one who pays attention.
The parents
must pay the attention. At because this one was high school.
Yes, was
at
high
a
school.
Primary school level, that's where it becomes deeper because then it's kids and often the bullies are the teachers at the primary school level.
Wow.
And often parents are afraid of fighting the other adults in the equation.
So they don't fight
they
teachers.
hope it's going to go away somehow, but it doesn't go away. That's how we find 10-year-olds also dying by suicide. There's a couple of teens 2 years back who hanged themselves at school because a teacher
said,
Yes.
And I think sometimes we don't take it seriously when the teacher says or the teacher has said to the, I don't know, we just take it lightly. We don't stand up because I don't think we see that as bullyism.
Yes.
Maybe we take it, maybe it's a mistake an adult as an adult did, but to be honest, for teachers to just say things that would break kids' confidence and stuff.
Right.
And now it comes to my next question. We have a problem in South Africa of gender-based violence, and mainly it's women who suffer in the hands of men. They die in the hands of men.
Yes.
And, when I was looking, especially in the story of boys fighting and all that, I was just wondering when I'm there in Dobana, don't we think that if we can try as parents and communities to fight all these habits, bad habits of bullying others and fighting with people and all that, don't you think that it can help like the next generation so that we do better for the next generation?
The interesting thing about gender-based violence is that it is birthed at home. Ayo is doing is birthed at home. A 10-year-old, an 8-year-old, a 5-year-old child witnesses the dad speaking to the mom in a particular way.
Yeah.
And he witnesses the mom accepting how she's being spoken to. 5-7-year-old witnesses the father beating up the mom.
Yeah.
And he witnesses the mom staying and not leaving or doing anything. In his mind, it's entrenched that this is a way to treat each other. It's okay. No? The other flip side of it, or another scenario, is siblings, brothers and sisters in the home, and they fight each other. The parents don't stop the fight, or the parents, they choose the side. Often it's us females who fight our brothers the most, and because we are sharp verbally, so we rah 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 rah, and and then parents look at this, but they only interject when it's the boy who's fighting, always standing up for himself. What we do is now we are creating an enabling situation that says if you cannot fight back verbally as a boy, it's okay to use your fist. Because this one, we let them speak as often as they want, whatever they want to say, and we don't reprimand them. And then we only reprimand when this boy decides, you know what, good dialogue, and then get that anger bubbles up, becomes something else. So the best way to handle, if we're looking at our level of teens, the best way to curb gender-based violence is to pay attention to what is happening in our homes. By paying attention means, as parents, how are we speaking to each other? What are our kids witnessing when we speak to each other? How are we treating each other? And what are our kids witnessing? When our kids do witness my flares in terms of anger, what do I do after? Do I address the situation, or do I hope it goes away? Whatever we do, the kids don't listen to what we're saying, they're listening to what we are doing. That's how they learn.
They do what they do
exactly. Now let's remove family and say there's another family, which is the community around us. Remember, we grew up in townships. Yes. Up and next door, the weekend all the time. Our kids will witness how they're treating each other and how no one is intervening because every weekend
in fact, it's something that is normal.
But it does, it teaches the kids who are observing that, oh, that's what happens and it's okay. And that's the other part of the equation. So it requires for us to look honestly at each other and how we live with each other within the family units and also the community at large. We were fortunate, Tina, when we were born and growing up, because we were taught to go to and also we were taught that mama was the next door is your mom, dad was the next door is your dad, and also they had a way of preserving that. These days, go for last book.
And another thing, Yobana, these days it's so unfortunate that umntana next door, next door, like they only know their family. So akubikho neza interventions, even if kukhona ingxaki in that particular family. We've said a lot of things, but I think I should allow you to just share with us what you guys have maybe for this semester. In case someone out there would love to reach out to the institute.
Okay, so what we do the most is we do one-on-one coaching. All of the teen coaches in our institute, they do one-on-one coaching. This is a space for your child to have one person to listen to them, to guide them through a process of life coaching for a particular time frame. We often don't do once-off because they don't help. We focus on either 6 months as a minimum to 12 months. And each teen coach have their own intake that they work with. We also do group workshops. The teen coaches also do their own group workshops. On my side, the biggest thing that I do is I do camps. We call them retreats, where we meet for a weekend. The kids come over. We sit and talk about life in general. Everything, nothing is hidden. We talk about sex, we talk about puberty, we talk about relationships at teen level, we talk about safety, we talk about consent, we talk about academics, we talk about careers, like where are you going to be in 2 or 3 years' time. We talk about family dynamics, we talk about absent fathers, like if you don't know how your dad looks like, how are you feeling about that? We go that deep because we understand that no one talks to kids about these things. They go to Google to find them, then they find the wrong information. So true. We create the space for it. So the next few weeks we're doing camps for boys, we're doing camps for girls. Next weekend we're doing, in February the 25th, it's pre-teens, 10-year-olds away from home for a weekend. It's so nice. It's nice. And what we do is just to preserve their safety. We always choose your high-end venues. I think that's why people always talk about cost, because when it comes to kids, we must ensure safety. So we can't take kids to a cheap place and then pay a cheap fee, because then safety is important. What they eat is important. We don't feed kids junk food. So we always make sure we choose your high-end venues. Also, I must say this before we go, it's important for us to learn to honor our kids. They need to learn how to honor themselves. They need to learn that they also deserve to be in high places and be treated well. Like we take out the table for them, we cook the right food, and we make sure that they have a fork and a knife. They would say, yes, we take us serious more. And because I want our kids to be familiar with those spaces, because it cannot be that the only time that they go to a hotel is because some man is trying to trick them into something horrible. So we try and create these spaces for our kids, for them to be comfortable in glamorous spaces, and then they can learn. It's so nice umuntu akungcolise usitya kamandi. Yebo thuthi mama kho wena awuthethi kahle na endlini. Like nyani sisifwe qamba you can speak to that child with ease, because they are comfortable and they know good. You don't mean anything bad. You've got good intentions for them. This is why we do this work. This is why we charge a fee for it, because we need to create this experience for our kids. It builds their confidence. It builds their self-esteem. It makes them feel seen, heard, and noticed as well.
And appreciated as well. Your social media handles?
Teen Coach Noveliso on Facebook.
On Facebook,
Teen Coach Noveliso. And thankfully on Noveliso are quite few these days.
There are few.
And then Instagram is at Teen Coach Noveliso. So it's quite easy.
Sis, thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure.
I know you've said so much, and I know that when people follow you, they'll get more more of what you've just said. But we really thank God for your, I'll say it's your ministry.
Yes.
You are called for this. I mean, you've been doing this for ages. It's been decades.
It's been decades, 2 decades.
So may more doors open. We hope and trust that everyone at home, they received 1 or 2 things. It's been a pleasure to have you on the Alignment Conversations. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's a wrap. Sithetha le language Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Today it was once another amazing session that we had with the Ozisa, the teenager Ozisa Kenyikazi, and the teen coach Sombanga. My name is Lali Tokwe. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Alignment Conversations with Lali Tokwe. Until next time, God bless you.